The third layer of listening is listening from, and it's all about difference. And this layer and the next one that's coming are really interesting because they're about what to do when a conversation could just end. And the difference between an okay conversation and a great conversation is where you reach an obstacle and you keep going. Now, the English language is full of alternatives, right? I will just have to agree to disagree, or we're never going to get anywhere, right? And you leave the room. Well, in a great conversation, you don't leave the room, okay? You might take a break, but you don't want to stop listening because that's where the action is, in the difference. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing if you can work with it. Now, let me tell you a little story about what happened to me. This is where I began to understand the value of thinking about listening from. I was running a conversation in a community centre, and there were a group of young women who were really excited about their future, their professional future, their careers, their studies, and their personal future. And there was also a group of elders, mostly, not exclusively, but mostly elderly men. And they were concerned about the security and the safety of their culture. And they both stopped listening to each other. And so I tried as hard as I could, but we weren't getting anywhere. So I took a time out and I went to the canteen and made a cup of coffee. And one of the older women came into the room and said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm struggling a bit." And she said a brilliant thing to me. She said, sometimes we don't all have to sit on the same hill. We could have one group of people on one mountain and another group on another mountain, so long as we both agree that the river between us needs to keep flowing. And that's such a great analogy for keeping the conversation going, even though two people are listening from different places. So think about it from your point of view. When are you having a conversation with someone who's different to you? It might be with your elderly mum or your dad. It might be with someone much younger than you, where you're seeing things very, very differently. You're starting from different places. It might be, you might be someone who's got kids and you're talking to someone who doesn't have kids. It might be that you're a man talking to a woman or a woman talking to a man. It might be that you're very, very good at technical knowledge and you're talking with someone who's much more big picture. Okay? Instead of stopping the conversation, if you just acknowledge that you're listening from a different place, you can carry on listening. Now, what happened with me was I went back in the room and both groups talked about why they felt so strongly about their point of view and how different they were. And the young women explained that they weren't trying to destroy the culture. They weren't even trying to lead the community. They wanted to become leaders in that community and inspire other young women to do well. And the elders got a chance to explain that their concern about safety and security was about protecting young women in their community, which is something they were incredibly used to. And actually what they realized was, as we spoke more, these young women were more than capable of looking after themselves, but they didn't want to leave the community. And at the end of the day, we carried on talking and they created some great ideas together. So here's the thing about listening from. It enables difference to stay in the room. We can tolerate a bit of difference so long as we feel safe. And in fact, it's that difference between us that can often come up with some of the best ideas. So, listening from. Difference doesn't mean the end of a conversation. In fact, it can be the beginning of a conversation.